Alright, hello, it's Ray. You probably all know me from my McGinnis builds. This is my first video today, so bear with me. Today I'm gonna go over just movement with McGinnis. McGinnis, she's a very, very immobile character. She's one of two heroes that has only 2 stamina, and she's one of the only heroes that doesn't have any movement items or abilities. First I'm going to show you how to actually get into the actual map to test. So first you'll want to do map space deal underscore streets. Once you'll load in, and you choose team, just like Amber, and then you'll want to select McGinnis. Next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to turn SV underscore cheats 1, and then you want to do hero underscore testing underscore enabled. It's Citadel hero testing enabled. You want to set that to 1. And then last, you'll want to set allow purchasing anywhere to 1 as well. And then you can also do pygmy to set yourself to full everything. We'll go over sliding first. Here, the most important slide, in my opinion, the most important movement tech that you can learn on McGinnis is knowing how to just slide after a dash. You dash, and then you slide. So this is about as far as you'll go with just a normal dash. If you dash, and then slide, you go about twice as far, and you keep the full speed. So yeah, the most important thing you want to do is you want to dash, and then right before your dash ends, you want to press crouch to slide. So right here, my dash is about to end, and then I press slide, and then it starts sliding. But you want to make sure you let go of slide before you stop sliding, because otherwise you'll go into crouching, which will slow you down a lot. And honestly, the timing just takes a lot of practice and experience. I can do it pretty just subconsciously. I don't have to think about it. Roll dash, and then you slide, and you get the extra distance. This is extremely important because it saves you on one of your stamina, which you only have 2 of, so it's pretty important to be able to manage your stamina while also getting the most out of it. And now another pretty good in lane thing you can do with slide. Let's get over it. So let's say you're in the middle of a reload and you need to get to a minion in time, right? If you press slide, you just tap it, it'll cancel your dash. Usually when you dash, you have a big lag before you can start shooting again. But if you do this, you can start shooting immediately. You dash, slide cancel into shooting. And you also can do a sort of dash, slide, cancel into melee. So I need to get to this. I dash to it, I slide cancel, and then I do a light melee. That's how you can get some last hits on some minions. Another important thing about sliding is you get infinite ammo during it, which honestly can be really helpful in lane by using it to, if you need to get a minion, which is on a last hit, and you only have 2 ammo or 1 ammo, you can dash into a slide, kill it, and then you still have that extra ammo to secure and deny. Or if you don't have much ammo and you need to secure and deny their souls, you can just slide to get the deny before you run out of ammo. So it's very important for that. Another really strong, important thing for using the infinite ammo while infinite sliding ammo in lane is what I find it really helpful for is if you slide into if you're diving in on an enemy for a trade, say your enemy is right there. Here, put an enemy right here. As you can enter in with unlimited ammo, and then usually the biggest thing about a trade is running out of ammo. Then you gotta back off the trade. But if you've come in with infinite ammo, you'll be able to do more damage to them for longer. I found that to secure me a few kills. And if you're low on ammo and the enemy is low on health, you can use a slide to be able to finish them off before you reload. The next thing we'll talk about is dash jumping. And so, if you dash jump, you do a little dash and then jump. If you don't already know that. The way to tell how to time it is your stamina bar right here will turn blue when the timing's ready. Now, honestly, a little fun fact is I didn't realize that it turned blue. I just memorized the timing. I don't know, I was at like 200 hours when someone told me that you just wait for it to turn blue. But I just have it memorized. It's muscle memory of when to dash jump. When it turns blue, that's when you can dash jump. Now, it does use up 2 stamina, which is a big change. Just a big draw off of it. But it gets you a lot farther and a lot faster. And it gets you a long slide afterwards, too. So the differences between just doing this twice and then having a dash jump is you aren't going to go quite as far with a dash jump, but you'll get where you're going faster. And so what I use it most, I'll use dash jumping when I'm going back to shop and I don't need to conserve my ammo. Conserve my stamina. And I'll use it when I need to get away from something really fast. Like if I want to get out of a warden binding ward or a wraith alt. I'll dash jump away to get away faster. And so you also want to make sure that you're still doing the slide at the end to get the most distance from your slide.
Our walker is under attack.
And there's technically an item for this.
An excellent choice.
Where if you use kinetic dash, it won't use up both stamina. But it's a 1250 gun item, and the extra ammo doesn't do much for us, so you're never gonna buy it. On McGinnis. And then another pretty helpful piece of tech is if you throw wall, I can do it right. Another helpful piece of tech is you can dash jump past your wall. So you dash space 3 and then press 3 again, and the wall goes right behind you.
Wall incoming.
Like this.
Block 'em off. Building a barrier.
And that's a good way to get away without having to like turn around.
Don't let them outposition us. Sending out a wall.
And now, something that I recently figured out, it's hugely important, is when you're running, if you place a turret, it slows you down just a tiny bit.
Putting down a turret.
I get slightly slower. But you can prevent this by jumping and then placing a turret, and you don't lose your speed.
Setting up a turret. Turret's online.
Like you can dash jump and place it. So if you're running away from someone when you place a turret down, usually you can't because it slows you down and that just puts you at risk of getting caught. But if you jump and place it, you won't lose the speed. And now we'll kind of talk about wall jumps. If you don't know, you can wall jump by going against the wall and then pressing space and the direction that's opposite. So here, I'm going to press jump space again and then A to go left. And you bounce off. And this doesn't use any stamina, which can be really helpful because we only have 2 stamina. So being able to save some stamina is a pretty big help. This can be helpful in a ton of situations, and it'll let you do more movement together. So you can get your air jump and a wall jump. To let you get even higher. For example, like if you want to scale this wall with it, you can do that. And the most important thing is if you pair it with another really helpful movement tech. And that's using your melee in the air to move. So if you use your melee in the air, it'll completely stop your movement and send you forward a bit. Like that. And so you can, with something that is probably the most important thing that I've learned using these two together, is getting on these bridges. Usually you have to spend like a stamina to jump up here. But you can jump off the wall, heavy melee, and then you climb up onto the bridge. And honestly, just being able to heavy melee just saves you a lot of stamina in a lot of places. Like here, you can just heavy melee onto this, Another place you can use it is down in here in this little way behind next to this bridge. Wall jump into heavy melee and you can get up here without any stamina. That wasn't a wall jump. Like this. See? You can do it on this side too. So another thing you should know about the heavy melee in the air is if you aim down, you'll aim more down. If you aim up, you'll go up a bit more. So usually you want to be aiming up when you do it.
They've taken an objective.
So you can just move around with all of these together. So here, for example, on this place, you can
Don't like being
wall
exposed
jump
here.
into heavy melee, and you climb up to here. On this building, you can wall jump into heavy melee and climb up here. Same with this. Actually, you can just wall climb up that. Another thing, you can see this is way too high to wall climb. This is just kind of obscure. But if you, this is too high to wall climb. But if you wall jump and hold space, you'll just climb it. But if you have to do it at the right timing, kind of sometimes. See, I just hold space and it just climbs the wall like that. And now here's another spot you can use it. Like that. And sometimes you can just do it like wall jump with the heavy melee like that. You can climb the museum in the same way. You can also use it to scale this with just one stamina. Over here, it's like the same thing. You can wall jump off of it into a heavy melee to climb it.
Our yellow guardian has been destroyed.
Over on this thing, you can wall jump into heavy melee and climb up here like this pretty fast. You can also heavy melee over to here. Now all of these you can technically do with one stamina, but the heavy melee saves you a stamina and it lets you combine it. And then onto the feature sign, you can do it here too. You can climb up here like that. Over here, you can use it to climb these. Like that. Technically, you can climb this with it. You can climb up onto this bridge with it. There are so many spots for this, and I've skipped over like most of them still. So many spots where you can use 0 stamina to climb stuff. Right here, you can climb this with it. Same on this bridge. You can climb this bridge like that. You can just cross basically anything without using a stamina by using your heavy melee. This next piece of tech is where stuff gets advanced. And this is called HMC, which is Heavy Melee Cancel. So basically what it is, this is the most common application, is, well, the general gist of it first, is during a melee, I'm sure you've seen Abrams do this, where while you hold Q, and then you use like Fleet Foot during it, and it does an extension, right? And you can also, if you don't hold Q, it'll just straight up cancel it. Now McGinnis has an item that does it too, or has an ability that built into her that allows that to happen too. And it's kind of obscure to think about it, but what it is it's dropping your wall does it. So you place your wall, you hold Q, you press 3, and it lets you keep going. You can combine it with your Fleet Foot. So if I place a wall, 3, C, and it lets you go like that. And so you can use this to either bait out parries or to go an extra distance to get a melee. But that's just on the ground. Now the actual movement part, if you're in the air and you cancel it, it gives you a huge burst of speed. So for example, I go like this, Q, and I press C, and I'm launching myself basically. Just like that. And you cancel it, and I'm all the way over here now.
Good luck not getting shot.
And you can do this with wall too. See, I just cancel the wall there to send myself flying. A big tip for it is you want to make sure you're looking up when you do it though. That way you get sent forward like that. You sent up more. Instead of sending yourself straight into the ground. All this is really only when you're doing it straight from the ground off of a dash jump. You dash jump, and you go flying like that. If you're in the air already, it doesn't really matter as much. You can kind of just chain everything together like this. And you can do it off of, if you're doing off of this, so you can kind of launch yourself a lot more like this. Just kind of chaining everything together. Can just get you pretty far. Now, all the items that do it, that I know of, is Fleet Foot, Vampiric Burst, and Unstoppable. And Colossus. Colossus does it too. But those are the ones that I know of. And now, a bunch of pretty obscure tech, which is a bug, and it's probably going to be patched pretty soon, is you can corner boost. Basically what it does, if I can do it, hold on. So basically corner boosting is like this. You see I am launched really high into the air by that. Show it again. You get launched extremely high. You can do just about any corner like that. And it works almost everywhere. So how this works is you do a wall jump right on the top corner of a thing. So if I'm here, I'm going to be holding left with A and space again. I'm going to tap space again. As I fall right on the corner of this. Sometimes it's a bit hard to get at first. And it sends you flying. So basically, as you can see, it's the wall jump effect. You wall jump right at the top, it just sends you flying. And then you compare this with a HMC. To get lots of height. Get a lot more distance with it. Now, there's just two main movement items in the game.
That's gonna help keep your blood on the inside.
One of which is basically a meme, which is Magic Carpet. But Majestic Leap is a pretty powerful weapon, or item. It was recently nerfed by, like, doubling its cooldown. Basically, you can launch yourself like this, and if you press V again, it sends you down, which has a lot of momentum. So you jump it, send down. You combine it with, like, superior stamina.
Anything else?
Set yourself up. You go down, jump, heavy melee cancel, jump again, and you just dash your way over. And then that's basically the extreme amount of movement. And then you also technically have Magic Carpet, which is basically a meme item. I'm not really going to talk about it much, but you can send yourself up. Just move around the whole map. Very important to be able to do this with McGinnis, because she has no movement items and just nothing. So just learning these basic things are pretty important.
Enemies have breached our stronghold.
One last thing I'm going to talk about. One last thing I'll talk about is you can carry your momentum over on a zipline. So if you are going on a zipline, your momentum carries over. Like that. And then you can use the momentum to go faster through stuff. Jump. And kind of just use it to move around the map. One last thing you can do, if you're going faster than 9.5 meters per second, you can just slide. See, I have my speed at 17 meters per second right now. If I just press control, I slide. Which is why you're able to do it while dashing, because that sets you at 15 meters per second. Honestly, if you have a build where you're going faster than 10 meters per second, this is pretty good because you can just chain that in and just keep having infinite ammo. It's like this, my ammo is barely going down because I'm spamming slide without even dashing. And your hitbox is also smaller when you're sliding, so it's about harder to hit you. It's a pretty cool type of tech. Now, there are two items that increase your slide distance. One of them is Fleet Foot, which you're almost always going to be buying with McGinnis. And another one you don't buy very often, but it's worth mentioning, because it has a 50% slide distance increase, is Burst Fire, which can slide a lot farther with these two items. But typically you won't be buying Burst Fire. Which is an interesting thing to point out, is how far you can slide with these. And then, one more thing.
Well, someone's looking to make
These are Fleet Foot and Heroic Aura. They are two very common items you'll be buying on McGinnis, which I can probably discuss in a future video. Fleet Foot and Heroic Aura, they're both actives with move speed. Fleet Foot gives you 3 meters per second move speed for 4 seconds, and Heroic Aura gives you 2 for 6 seconds. And they're both on a pretty short cooldown, 19 seconds and 32 seconds, which will honestly be, you have just cooldowns, it'll be 14 and 24. So you shouldn't be afraid to use these just all the time. I'll always just, whenever I'm moving around and not even in battle, I'll make sure to use these because it'll increase your move speed by 5 meters per second. Which, just getting around the map is really helpful. And so don't be afraid to use them when you're not in combat. I just use them all the time. The hardest part is remembering that you have them. Right, and so I have this build published, Raised Movement Practice. You can use this build to basically just practice in the sandbox. And at the beginning of the video, I showed you how to get into the map. You have your dashing items. You have your heavy melee cancel. Your movement items, slide distance items, active move speed, and then just move speeds to see the sliding without dashing. You can use these in the sandbox to just practice this. And I highly suggest practicing movement. It is very important for McGinnis to be able to just pull this stuff off. Which is how low stamina is. In the fact that we have no movement items. And that's about all I have for you. For this. I'm sure there's something I missed. This is my first video. Hopefully editing goes well. Make sure to check me live on Twitch. I usually stream most days from 7... I'll usually start streaming between 7 to 9 p.m. EST. And I'll have ended stream by 11:30 p.m. EST. Weekends I usually go till like 12:30 p.m. or 12:30 a.m. and I start at a random time. I don't stream every day, but I try to stream most days. So catch me live if you can. Drop a follow. Twitch will probably be linked in the description. And probably on screen somewhere, I don't know. And thanks. Make sure to join the Discord. Subscribe too. Subscribe please. Like and subscribe. I almost forgot to say that. Like and subscribe. I'll see you later. Arf arf. But they're both